How are you? I'm trying to like really hard to kind of focus this a little bit. Hello, there's definitely a lot of stuff in the background. I am in the process of cleaning my altar space, and I figured I will show you loves how I'm doing it as part of this week's Goddess Hour. We're not gonna stay on too long because I'm doing laundry. I'm literally having like a whole entire cleaning day. I'm like blessing and cleansing everything, and so I have to take out the laundry in like 30 minutes, so we're not gonna be on for too long. But I did want to share with y'all how I'm doing it. And the catch with this is that I can't show y'all my altar space because my ancestors don't want that to be shown. But I'm just gonna basically tell you guys how I'm doing it. I can't see the chat completely. Wait, maybe if I put it there. There we go. Does that work? Okay, now I can see the chat. Hello everybody. I hope that y'all are well. This is definitely a process that I personally do. I try to do pretty regularly because you're supposed to maintain a really healthy altar space. I would recommend doing this at least once a month and just, you know, kind of setting the tone for your altar space. But it is still really important to just take some time out to do so. So I'm going to show y'all how I'm doing it. I have like a tiered altar space. It's kind of like, think of it like as a kind of like a bookshelf, not really, but kind of. If you look back at some of my, hello Steph, if you look back at like a while back when I bought at the some of the thrift store hauls, I bought a metal like stacked kind of bookshelf kind of thing at the thrift store for like what I think it was like $2 or something. And it's from IKEA. So this is like kind of how I have condensed a lot of my altar space, because like before I had all of my altars spread out around different parts of the house, but when I moved I wanted to condense it into specific place. So I kind of did the stack system, and it works really well. So I just have to kind of go back in and go through like the cleaning process and make sure that everything is, you know, good and clean, and like all of the things are off of the ancestor altar. And then I end up like seeing how, you know, what is on it, what needs to be clean, why things needs to be clean. The other thing that I'm going to be doing as well is going through and cleaning my statues, because throughout the time they do collect dust, and so you want to make sure that they're clean as well. So yeah, so that's literally what I'm doing today. And I'm just finding all of these like notes and like petitions and stuff on here, which is just a lot of the time I'll like do spell work and I'll forget about certain things. Like I'll forget that I put something there, and then I find it later. I'm like, oh, well, that happened already. So I'm just going in with cotton rounds. You can do this with like a rag specifically if you have it specifically for your altar space. And I was just thinking about you doing how oh wow, that's so funny. That's, you saw this coming. And I'm just gonna use Florida water to go ahead and remove the dust. Then this works as a double kind of cleanse a little bit, because it has alcohol. It helps to like cleanse the space in that way, but it also cleanses the energy and kind of resets the tone. You can use an old rag for this. I like to use cotton rounds here and there because they help me not use more Florida water than I need to. Like kind of this much can clean like a whole, like I can get a lot done with one cotton round. Like I feel like it's easy to get out of hand when you use a rag. You want to like soak all of it in the solution, and it's just not necessary. So yeah, so I'm just going through and going over it with Florida water and just making sure I'm getting all of the corners. It's basically like resetting. It's think of cleaning your altar as you cleaning your house. Like you know, you have to mop, you have to like make sure that you have to sweep, you got to make sure that there's no, you know, dust on the floors, because if you just do it half-assed, it's just not going to work. It's not going to be clean, and you're going to know it's not clean, and that's just going to irritate you. So make sure that you go through and you see this, the amount of dust that it has collected in a month. So it's definitely a lot. So this is why I recommend doing so pretty regularly. Or else it's just like they're not gonna like it. They're really not. Like I woke up today and my ancestors are like, you have to clean the altar today, and I was like, okay, I will designate some time today to do so. So I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna just be doing this process. I was just chilling, listening to some music, and I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and do the goddess hour for this week and focus on some nice cleaning quality time with our altar spaces. I like to get the kind of like the rim of the pole as well. Like I like to cleanse all of the parts, not just the base. I like to cleanse the legs. I like to go in everything because I feel like the whole energy of it shouldn't be dusty on one end and like, you know, clean on another. So yeah, now that's like the first layer of my altar space. So the way that I have my altar space set up, at the base is my ancestors, and on the side of the base is Santa Marta. And the reason for that is because both of them like to be closer to the ground, and so I like to keep them as low as I can without, you know, having them on the floor and Luna, you know, my cat, coming in and trifling. I literally have to cover their water with like a little plate in the mornings every time I do my libations, because Luna will come and she'll start drinking the water. Granted, I did offer that water to all of them, including Bassett, who is, you know, the goddess of cats, but Luna will be the one to come and drink the water. Like she does not have a water bowl, and like she doesn't drink from Pink's water bowl. So I just think it's just hilarious how she does that. Like I would just find it funny. So starting with this one, because I just saw it first, I'm going to use the Santa Marta cologne to, now that I have cleansed her section, I'm just going to bless her section with her own cologne. And this is something that I like to do because I feel like it's kind of like if you're taking a shower, you know, you put lotion, you know, you just wash yourself, you're gonna start putting lotion, you maybe some perfume and stuff like that. So this just helps, this works as an offering and also just to make her comfortable being in that space. So I just take a little bit on here and then I go over at pretty much every corner of her side, and then just go through and make sure that every part has a little bit, including the legs that are on her side as well. And I feel like the tier system it just works really well for me. I know that there's people out there that say, oh, you shouldn't have like, well, I don't have all of them together, but you shouldn't have like spirits like next to each other and all this kind of stuff. And honestly, they fully understand like that not every home is built that way, and you can't always, you know, keep, ooh, I dropped the thing. You can't always like keep a full designated closet specifically for your altar space, or like have a room and stuff like that. Like I always tell them, if y'all want me to have a designated room for y'all, my next place that I move to, you're going to have to give me, just bring that into fruition and bring me that extra space so I can hold space for you guys as well. Like I always tell them that. And this is why when I manifested this where I'm living now, this room is really big. So it just kind of, yeah, like even though there's a lot of stuff in the room, we still have so much space because it's just so big. So I pretty much, you know, have that little area for them. But they know, like, especially every time I move, I say the same thing. I'm like, you guys want your own space, your own room? Boom, come through and let me know what's up. Let me know how you guys want to do it, because at the same time it has to be like, at first, this specific place that I manifested, I wanted a room. I didn't want like my own apartment or anything like that at first. So the next place that I move to is either going to be an apartment or a house. But right now me and Babe are like manifesting a lot of different things for the future, which is really exciting. And so yeah, there's definitely a lot going on. Now before I put her on the altar space, I'm gonna go in with Florida water first to cleanse her as well, because when you are bringing your altars back into your altar space or cleanse altar space, you should be cleaning them as well. Just be a little bit mindful with this, especially if the paint isn't like covered on here. That's why I kind of move a little bit quickly when I'm doing this, just in case, like, you know, some altars, like, they don't use that coating where the paint stays on. So I just kind of move a little bit quickly. I don't try to like rub or, you know, do something crazy. Like, I'll just go through and, like, you know, take my time, but like not try to rub too much, because I don't want any of the paint or anything to be removed. But I do want to make sure that I get all of the dust and all of the things. Wait, I just saw a comment. Hold on. Where'd it go? Hold on. Ooh, there we go. When you give water, do you dedicate one glass to all your spirits core, or do you put multiple glasses? So at first, in the beginning, that is a great question. At first, in the beginning, I used to do it when I had, and this goes back to how I had my altar set up before. I had it set up where all of my altars were in different spaces around like the house, and just in different designated spaces. And so because of that, I had to have water in each one of the altars because they were separated. But when I started doing this tier system, I was like, I shouldn't do all of like have little waters for them everywhere. I should just have one designated space, and I just do it like that because it just works. So right now I basically keep it with one. However, they all end up getting separate offerings in addition to. And when I am offering the water in the morning, I name all of them. Instead of just being like, okay, this is for my ancestors or whatever the case, like just keeping it simple, I name all of them, and I'm like, like everyone who is here and in this specific tier, and also the other spirits that I have, because I have technically 2 other small altars. You never have enough altars, I guess. But I include them in there, and I let them know like, hey, this is also for you, so you can come through and tap into this vibration, this water, because this is the offering. So I'm just going through like every little nook, just making sure that there's no dust. And if you can see, like none of the paint came off, and that's because it has that coating. So I really like working with this one. But I'm going in with Florida water and cleansing it. But I hope that answered your question. I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, try to keep it as uncomplicated as possible. And you can always talk to your ancestors, talk to spirit, be like, hey, how would you like to set up? Can you send me some inspiration? Send me some ideas, give me some downloads of how you would like, you know, how you like it set up. And if you don't like something, can you let me know? So that way you know, make sure that you're comfortable and that you're good and set up for success. You can always just ask them as well. That's something that I always do too. So now I'm gonna go in, where to go, with her cologne, and go ahead, and now that I pretty much did that blessing with the Florida water, I'm going to bless it again with her own cologne, because again, it's the same concept. I want her to be comfortable. I want her to be relaxed. Think of it as if you're taking care of yourself, if you're like holding your own goddess hour of your self-care. What does that look like? Should look the same for spirit as well. You want to make sure that they're comfortable, that they like chilling and being in your sacred space. They, you know, that they're comfortable and pretty much ready to like work or guide you or whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm just going through and coating her with her own fragrance. There we go. Yeah, but I hope that answered your question for sure. And by the way, I am still waiting for some of the videos to update on YouTube. YouTube is taking forever. Like literally the past 2 months have been an absolute headache trying to upload videos, because YouTube just takes 5.5 years to, you know, upload the thing, like process it. I have like 7 videos that are waiting, and then like another 5 readings that are waiting to upload on there. So I'm sorry if some of the readings are late, but it's literally YouTube. It's just been like that. So I like to add the statue first before I kind of start adding any other, you know, offerings and stuff that I have on there. Like I just like to be like, hey, So think of it as if you're going to a new apartment or something. You're walking into it first, then you're adding all of your stuff. So I like to be like, hey, I'm this is where you're gonna be now. So I kind of move them around depending on where I want stuff as well. So don't like get yourself overwhelmed. One of the things I have in her altar is snake, like the shedded skin, which this snake, oh my god, this snake was the sheddings of a snake that it was like a friend's, and their snake is very, very sassy. Is very, very fiery. So I whip this out a lot of the time when I'm trying to do like any type of like, you know, domination work on that, on a little bit of a like with a push scale. So I really, really I love working with this. And I'm also going to go ahead and wipe this so it's nice and clean when it's sitting on her altar space, because you want to make sure that everything is nice and squeaky clean and blessed and ready to go. So, but I can still feel the vibration of the, like the energy of this specific snake. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. What you can do with like the snake sheddings. Like I really love working with it on a regular. Okay, so I'm just gonna move her over here. There we go. Okay, and then, so one of the things I also have in my altar space is the oils that I make. They all charge on my altar space. This is the Santa Marta oil that I've literally had charging. Before I launched it, it was charged for over a year on her altar space. And I was waiting for her to tell me when she was ready, when it's ready for me to like bring it for you guys in the apothecary. So I 1000% took my time with this. She gave me all of the ingredients for this oil. It's a really, really powerful oil. And it also has snake skin in it. It had to. That was one of the ingredients, which makes it non-vegan, but it was one of the ingredients. I wasn't gonna fight her for that. And so yeah, it's definitely a lot. So occasionally I come to the altar and I just give it a shake, as I do with all of my oils, and then I just let it sit in her altar space until, you know, I get an order, and then I go ahead and prepare the oils for you guys when you guys order them on my website, which makes it, you know, it's just it's still like a process of me putting the smaller bottles together, because I do still have to like bless it and make sure that it's the right amount and all that stuff. Wait, I saw a comment. Hold on. I gotta look for it because I'm not on my computer. So okay, here we go. Ooh, oh shit. Sorry, that was the wrong hand. Wait, hold on. Thank you. I keep pressing stuff. Thank you. I have been putting one glass mostly because I don't have the space, but I was actually thinking of getting a bookshelf. So this is a great idea. Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's helped me a lot to not feel like all over the place, or like, oh my god, I have to like take care of them in this way, or this person said it has to be this way. Like I don't try to stress myself out about it. I just try to make them comfortable, and they understand at the end of the day, because you know, not all spirits that are with you are going to get an altar either. And that happens for a lot of the spirits that I have. Like I don't have an altar space for every spirit that walks with me. However, the ones that I do hold space for in this way, I want them to be comfortable. I want them to be good. I want them to be chilling. Like I want them to be very comfortable. So I make sure that, you know, I take my time with it. I make sure that I take my time with it, and that I, you know, give them their space. But I also make sure that when I'm offering anything to them, if it's personally for each one of them, like, you know, I'll give them, especially if there's different kind of like fruits or anything that I know they like, and I went to the supermarket and I bought, then I'll give them to that person, you know what I mean? But if it's like water and libations and stuff like that, or even when I cook food, I don't make a little plate for all of them. I just be like, hey guys, I cooked, please enjoy this. Like I'll just, you know, kind of let them be like, hey, this is a buffet, this is a spiritual buffet, you can come through, get your plate, you know. And at the end of the day, is the thought that counts, is the intention that counts. Again, they know that if you're in the space that you are, they know that, and if they want to move you to a different space, by all means, they know that as well. So don't ever let yourself get stressed out about that, because they definitely, you know, they understand. Wait, hold on. Question about food offerings. What do you do? What do you do if you offer food items? It feels wasteful to let it just sit there, it, until it starts to go bad, then throw it away, or rude to eat it. So you're definitely not supposed to eat any type of uh offerings that you give your ancestors. That's actually like a huge, like, it's like blasphemous to eat an offering, and that's been blasphemous since like the like ancient Egypt. It's been blasphemous since then. It's one of the rules that high priests and priestesses had to follow. You cannot eat their offerings at all. And it's seen as a very bad thing. It's seen as a very disrespectful thing. Because if you think about it, let's go back to that buffet. Okay, let's go back to like um how you would feel if you were given something and then somebody just came in and just took your plate and started eating and then said, okay, oh, can you help me with this? Sorry, I just breathed in the alcohol. Imagine that. Like, imagine like you're eating and then somebody just says, hey, I'm gonna just take your plate, I'm gonna eat your food, and then I also want you to help me with resolving X, Y, Z, and B. I always keep a Malta on her altar space because she loves Malta, especially Malta India. So yeah, so it's kind of on that level. You never want to eat their food. Like, if you gave them food, you don't want to eat their food. I literally have like chocolate on some of their altar spaces, and I would not eat that chocolate no matter how bad of a sugar craving I'm having. No ma'am, I am not trying to get reprimanded for that. It's just not a good idea overall. However, when it comes to giving offerings to your ancestors, your gods, goddess, all that stuff, it's been done since ancient times, and to an extent you do have to, you have to kind of understand why it has to be done. What's the importance of why it has to be done? Not always does it happen where you give food to spirit. It doesn't always happen because some people don't have the means. Some people can only offer water. Water is a perfectly good offering to all spirits, period. It just always has been a very neutral, it's like clear quartz, it's a very neutral offering. But I try to kind of play around with what types of offerings I give them, and how I use them. It's not always food. Some things are like other things that they like, and I don't know about y'all, but some of y'all know that a lot of the ancestors love rum, love whiskey, love like alcohol, love beers. So sometimes it doesn't have to be something perishable that you put on the altar space. Sometimes it can be something that they just really enjoyed and like partaking in. And like for me, for example, I charge all of my honey on my Oshun altar. Like the honey that I also intake. Like I have honey specifically for her on her altar, but then I also tell her like, hey, can you also charge and bless my honey? So when I am consuming it, I know that it's like blessed by you. Like the energy is great. Like everything's good to go. But I keep it there. I keep it on her altar space. And I think it's important to understand what they rule, what they like. And I wouldn't bring honey to, I don't know, like Santa Muerte and be like, bless this for me, because I know that Oshun has this deep connection to honey. So I still work with them in different ways in that way, and I keep honey in Oshun's altar all the time. It's not like it doesn't perish like that, like super fast. So it can sit in her altar for a good amount of time, and then I'll just swap it for a new one, and I'll redo the honey blessing for her. But it doesn't always have to be food. I do a lot of fruit sometimes, like oranges. I like to give Oshun oranges as well, and they stay on her altar. Like they stay good on her altar for like 2 weeks sometimes. Like they actually don't start like decomposing that fast when they're in their altars, and if they like it, it doesn't start decomposing that fast. Like Santa Muerte like loves apples, and they sit like for a good amount of time on their altar space. So it's kind of like you have to understand like where's the balance between give them like food, or giving them different offerings that they might just enjoy, that are not food. But you just have to understand that it's not a waste to give spirit offerings. It's been done for such a long time. It serves a purpose. A lot of different rituals require offerings as well, because it's kind of like it's kind of like if a job asked you to basically work for free, but there was nothing being offered to you. You weren't getting anything from it. It's just like, okay, did I ask to volunteer? Like, you know, like the questions start to kind of arise with that. So it's kind of like you have to understand that there is an energy exchange that needs to happen, including with spirit. And some spirits do love that energy exchange. They like to have that relationship with you where they understand, like, hey, you respect me. I thank you for respecting me. I'm going to work on your petition. I'm going to work on what it is that you want. And it's just really important to just give them that offering. Honestly, that's my point of view with it. Wait, I saw another comment. Oh, here, hold on. Okay. Hold on. I usually set it outside for the animals. You're definitely lucky with that one, because not everybody can do that. I will tell you, like, not everybody can do that, especially where you live. Like, if I saw that, oh, I keep knocking this down. If I saw that, like, when I lived in the Bronx and I just saw a bunch of plates outside, like, that would be a little crazy. And I'm pretty sure people will start getting fined, and the buildings will start getting fined. So it depends where you are to doing that. I know that, like, in the island and, like, in certain parts of the United States, like, you're able to do that because you live in an open kind of, you're a little bit more open with your houses and stuff. Like, not everything is, like, squished together like a pancake. So it's a little bit easier to do, but it's definitely not, like, a possibility in, like, a lot of the urban places. It's just not a thing. It cannot be a thing. Never eat your offerings no matter how hungry. No, for real though, I would never. When I want to stop eating sweets, I dump all of my sweets to my spirit altar so I know I won't eat them. No, seriously, I do the same thing. I feel like it's really, like, important to also give them something sweet, because if you like to eat something sweet, obviously they also would like to eat something sweet. Like, sweet things are sweet for a reason. There's a reason why Oshun is called the mother of the sweet waters, like sweet waters. There's a lot of sweetness in connection to her, and that's because people love sweet things. They love to have like that energy, that the taste of it. It's just really, really, really good, like, having sweet things, whether natural or artificial. I mean, you can argue whether you want that on your altar space or not. I'm not gonna argue with you about that one. Now, the way that I'm gonna clean my ancestors' altar space, I'm gonna, instead of using, you guys know how I used Santa Madre Cologne on their altar, I'm gonna be using holy water on their altar space. Okay, and this is I still am going through, like, you see how much I've used from it? Like, this is how much I've used for it. I still have the other one in my refrigerator, but I'm still going through and using the holy water that I got at the church. Like, if you saw that vlog, you would know what I'm talking about, because that was the whole thing. Also, I'm gonna be in the Bronx tomorrow, so I might end up stopping by, to be honest. We'll see. But yeah, me and babe are gonna go to the city, so I don't know. Well, I'm definitely going to Original Botanica though. Y'all might get a vlog soon. Y'all might get a vlog soon. But yeah, for sure, I'm definitely gonna be working on that. Tomorrow I might end up stopping by and getting more holy water, because we're doing, like, a huge house blessing, and I always put the holy water on the floor wash. So that's why I've been trying to slowly use it, but at this point I'm just like, you know what, let me just get a whole ton of holy water so I could just stock up for a while. So yeah, so you guys will probably get that vlog soon. So I'm just going through with the holy water, same way I did everything, and I'm just going over pretty much every inch, every single area, making sure everything got covered and good. And the first thing that's going to go on my altar space is going to be my grandma. Just because she's the representation. She is basically the leader of my ancestor army. I've told you guys this many a times, and so I always make sure that she goes in there first, because she represents all of them. So yeah, there we go. There you go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna start putting pretty much everything else that I had, but I'm just gonna make sure it's cleansed. I already had this since this morning, so I'm just gonna put, the water from this morning there. So I gave them the offering this morning already. So one of the things that I also keep in my ancestor altar is my ancestor oil. So I always have everything charged up in my altars. There's never like any type of thing that I make that doesn't charge anywhere. I literally have my Santa Muerte candle charging up on her altar right now, which came out so cool. I'm still like making them. Let me just show y'all what they look like. Oh, look how pretty she came out, y'all. It's seriously, the detail is just so amazing, and I'm still making some because I got a ton of orders, but so pretty. I'm debating putting up the 7 colors version on the shop, because first of all, it would take me longer to do, but I feel like it'll be really fun to see the 7 colors and have that in the shop. But just so pretty. And they all, like, all the candles charge in their respective spaces. Like, they all, like, right before they get sent out, everything gets blessed, everything gets cleansed, and everything's like good to go basically. But yeah, so I'm still just going through and like cleansing and charging everything. So this is Peruvian Florida water, which is more powerful than Florida water, by the way. If there was a Florida water that I can recommend more than Florida water, it would be this one. And I keep this charging in my ancestor altar because it's just, I need to get a bigger bottle of this, and I don't want to open this one yet because I want this to be my travel one. That was my original idea when I first got it, but then, you know, 2020 happened and I couldn't open it and I couldn't take it anywhere. So yeah, this one, the Peru Florida water, same company. It's just that it's different. It's yellow, but it's made in Peru, and it's really powerful. And it's just, it has a different vibe for some reason. The first time I used it, I was like, whoa, this is a little bit, it just has a little bit of a kick to it. I highly recommend y'all look for it if y'all, you know, I know they sell it like on Amazon and stuff, but I think it's just really important to look into all of them because they do have a lot of different vibrations, and that one is just really powerful. Now, this is my bell that I got. It's just gonna keep ringing. I got this bell at the thrift store, and let me just hold it down because it's just gonna keep ringing. And I'm just going through with the holy water, and I leave this on my ancestor altar in the morning for when I'm doing my libations. I go ahead and ring the bell and call them. And I also do it when I'm doing spell work specifically, or before I'm, you know, like, let's say I just fixed a candle and I am just calling them to that space to just make sure that they're paying attention to what spell work I just put on their altar space, so they can go ahead and do their thing. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put this back on their altar space. I gotta my chamalongos are in one of my, it's in my bag because I literally took them with me recently, but they also have to go on the altar space. I keep my chamalongos charging in my altar space pretty much at all times, unless I'm traveling and I'm taking them with me for whatever reason I need to take them with me. But yeah, I have like a lot of personal different things charging in my ancestral altar. I kind of, when it comes to my spiritual tools, I kind of tend to do either my ancestors or a set for different spiritual tools as far as charging them goes. But for the most part, I use my ancestor altar to as a charging station as well. And other kind of things that I keep on my ancestor altar. This was a dress that my grandma made me when I was little. Yeah, I fit into this, y'all. And it's just so cute. She made it by hand. I love, love, love the print. It's such a beautiful print. She made it by hand. She taught me how to sew when I was little. And she had a sewing machine and everything. And I just love, love, love it so much. So my mom wanted me to have it, so I put it in my my ancestor altar. And it just belongs there. So, and I also have my grandma's slippers, so it also goes right underneath where the ancestor altar is, and it just stays put. So I'm just gonna put it right there. And I have a bunch of other things on here. This is my passport from DR, y'all. Let me show y'all. Y'all, look at baby Abby right here. Y'all see this? Y'all see these cheeks? Oh my god. And look, y'all, I kept it because I've always loved passports, but I just love the transition from different stages of my life when I was little. So I always keep this in my altar space. I don't know why. I should put it in my personal altar space, but this is oh, I dropped it. This is the Dominican Republic passport. So I just feel like it just connects me to, I keep dropping it, y'all. I feel like it just connects me to the land, because it just, you know, it has like all of the Dominican things. And it just gives me that nostalgia. And every time I think of DR, I think of my grandma. So I just wanted to keep it in my altar space. But yeah, it has like a bunch of stuff in there. And all like the stamps and all that stuff. Oh my god, look at another one. It has the canceled there. That's because when I ended up becoming a United States citizen, I can't remember at what age they had to, when I came back to DR, they had to cancel this passport. So that's why it says canceled on it. But I always think it's cute that every time I go back to DR, like I'm on the plane and I get curious as to if I have to file that, like, you know, the, oh, you're visiting kind of sheet thing. And I always ask, and they're always like, where were you born? And I'm like, in the Dominican Republic. And they're like, oh no, you family, you here. And I'm like, aw, just feel a little love, you know, because I mean, I was born there, so it is what it is. Okay, I have one of the things that I also keep in my oh wait, I have to clean this real quick. Hold on. I'm like looking for the cotton rounds. One of the things that I keep in my altar space as well is when a family member like passes, they're like, I don't know what this is called. I'm like, I know what it is. I cannot remember what it's called at this time. But I always keep those on my altar space as well, because I like to make room for all of the ancestors that are now like, that didn't necessarily die when I was like smaller or anything like that, but died more recently. I like to keep their energy there for that. And I don't know, I just like keeping it in all my altar space, because I feel like it also, just as much as I have pictures of my grandma and stuff on my altar space, I think it's important to keep like a little nook for those moments, like those passings and stuff. This is, oh my god, this is so cute. This is from my girls. This is like my birthday card from my girls. This is from my mom and my sister. I'll put this over here. This was the engagement card that my sister got me, and she didn't sign it. And I told him, like, why would you give me this? You didn't even sign it. What's wrong with you? She's like, yeah, I forgot, but I got you flowers. I cannot with my sister sometimes. Eventually, y'all will see her in a live or something. Besides, like, the thrift store hauls. Hold on. Oh, yes, the obituary. That's what it is. I caught the herbs. The candle looks amazing. Yeah, it's a really beautiful, like, I've just been making so many different types of candles. Everybody's favorite is the Nefertiti candle, okay? Y'all have me out here working, making different color Nefertiti candles, like, every day I'm making Nefertiti candles. But it's just such a beautiful candle, and just the energy of that candle is so beautiful. I live, y'all. I live to make those. It's just a lot of fun for me. But I've just been making a lot of different candles, and there's gonna be more candles added very soon. I hope y'all's is ready for that, cause it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time for sure. Oh, wait, there was another comment. Let me see. Oh, there it is. I got a molded on necklace. It makes me feel a little irritated when I wear it. All my family was grumpy. Oh my god. Girl, the Nefertiti candle's so special. It really is. It really, really, really is. It's like one of my favorite ones to make because I always feel like I'm connecting with her when I'm making them, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful candle to look at. Like the detail and everything. They did the thing. They really did. Okay, so I have completed the first layer of my, oh wait, I always like to put the cologne in her altar as well, so it kind of charges when it's there. I have completed the first layer. Now I'm getting to my second layer, and I have 2 more layers to go, y'all. But I have to take out the laundry, so I hope that y'all enjoyed this little mini chit chat situation. For this goddess hour, we're just talking about altars and stuff. There'll definitely be more videos. I'm still editing videos for y'all. Like, if y'all don't think I'm working, I definitely am. But I hope that y'all enjoyed this live, and definitely if you want to become a member, go ahead and hit the join button below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Oh, also, before I leave, do not forget to sign up for the workshop, because literally there's like 3 tickets left, and I am not responsible for you not being there if you didn't get your tickets early. I said what I said, okay? If you want to get tickets, the link will be in the community tab, so make sure you check that. I will see you guys later.